What if I told you there's a specific type of hair loss that doctors in the US watch very closely in women over 50? And what most women don't realize is that something as simple as the seeds you eat can either support hair growth or quietly accelerate hair fall. Today I'm sharing 4 powerful seeds that can help restore your hair's strength and thickness. But I'm also revealing 4 seed traps that might be sabotaging your hair without you even knowing it. The last seed trap I mentioned might shock you because it's sitting in most health-conscious kitchens right now. Another thing that might shock you is that some of these seeds are on both lists. Here's what most people aren't talking about. Your hair isn't falling out because of what's happening on your scalp. It's falling out because of what's happening in your gut, your liver, and your hormone pathways. Now, I want to be clear about something important. Despite what anti-aging marketing wants you to believe, age itself isn't the villain. The real issue is cumulative repercussions from daily lifestyle choices. I'm talking buildup from decades of processed foods, chronic stress, medications, and environmental toxins that have been slowly impacting your entire system until you finally start noticing symptoms, like losing your hair. But here's the good news. This isn't irreversible. If you've maintained good digestive health, managed stress, and avoided toxic overload, you may never experience these issues at all. But if you are dealing with hair thinning, it's almost always a sign that your internal systems need support. Think of it like a plant. If it's wilting, you don't spray the leaves, you check the roots and the soil. Your hair follicles are at the very end of the nutrient delivery chain. They get what's left over after every other system has taken what it needs. So when your digestion is compromised, your liver is overloaded, and your mineral absorption is poor, your hair is the first thing to suffer. This is why topical treatments rarely work long-term. You can massage all the oils you want into your scalp, but if your internal systems aren't functioning properly, then those follicles aren't getting the building blocks they need to grow strong, healthy hair. And this brings us to seeds. Seeds are incredibly concentrated. They carry the full potential of new life in one tiny package. But that concentration cuts both ways. In small amounts and properly prepared, they can support hormone balance, reduce inflammation, improve mineral absorption, and boost scalp circulation. But in the wrong amounts, eaten at the wrong times, or prepared incorrectly, they can do the exact opposite. It's like having a superpower that can either save the day or accidentally blow up your kitchen. It all depends on how you use it. Okay, let's begin with the 4 seeds that, when used correctly, can genuinely support hair regrowth, starting with number 4, flax seeds. Flax seeds are one of the richest plant sources of lignans. After menopause, many women experience something called estrogen dominance. Now, that doesn't mean you have too much estrogen. It means the liver isn't clearing estrogen efficiently. And this is where the gut-liver-hair connection becomes crystal clear. The liver prepares used estrogen for removal, but the gut determines whether it's eliminated or reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. Lignans from flax seeds support beneficial gut bacteria that help break down and eliminate used estrogen. When this process works smoothly, you have less hormone-related inflammation, which results in a healthier environment for hair growth. Research has shown that women who start consuming ground flax seeds daily show improved markers of estrogen metabolism and reduced inflammatory markers within 12 weeks. But, and this is crucial, flax seeds must be ground before eating. You see, whole flax seeds pass through your digestive system completely intact. You get zero benefit. It's like swallowing tiny nutritional capsules that never open. Your body just waves goodbye as they pass through, and you can watch your money and nutrients go right down the toilet. Literally. But here's the twist. If you eat too much ground flax, especially if your digestion is already compromised, all that fiber can actually block mineral absorption, which we'll come back to when we talk about risky seed traps. The sweet spot for most people is 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds per day. grind it fresh in a coffee grinder, then mix it with a tablespoon of ghee or a little warm water to make a paste. You can eat it on its own about 30 minutes before a meal, or mix it into a soup or stew. Next is number 3, pumpkin seeds. If you're dealing with hair thinning around your crown and hairline, pumpkin seeds should definitely be on your radar. They're one of the best plant-based sources of zinc, and zinc is absolutely critical for hair follicle function. And no, not the giant bags of roasted and salted pumpkin seeds you get at baseball games. Those are basically salt delivery systems with a seed attached. Here's the deal. While pumpkin seeds are indeed loaded with zinc, you need stomach acid to break it down and absorb it. But when you've spent your whole adult life popping antacids and stress eating, your stomach acid production takes a hit. A 2021 study from Johns Hopkins found that nearly 40% of women over 50 have suboptimal zinc levels, and low zinc is directly linked to increased hair shedding and thinning follicles. Zinc also plays a role in managing androgen sensitivity. Even though we're women, we do have small amounts of androgens like testosterone and DHT in our bodies. When zinc levels are low, hair follicles become more sensitive to these androgens. This can cause them to shrink and produce thinner, weaker hair. Pumpkin seeds also support liver function by providing glutathione precursors, which help your liver process and eliminate excess hormones more efficiently. Remember, a congested liver means hormones circulating longer than they should, which means more inflammation, and that results in unhappy hair follicles. Eat about a quarter cup of raw or lightly roasted pumpkin seeds 3 to 4 times per week. You can toss them on salads, blend them into pesto, or eat them as a mid-afternoon snack. Personally, I love cooking them with my lentils. It's absolutely delicious. And bonus tip, raw pumpkin seeds eaten on an empty stomach are also anti-parasitic. You're welcome. Next we have number 2, sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are rich in vitamin E, and vitamin E is essential for scalp circulation. After menopause, changes in hormones can make the scalp more sensitive to issues that affect circulation, especially blood sugar imbalance, inflammation, and reduced nitric oxide production. A 2020 study found that women who supplemented with vitamin E for 6 months experienced significant improvements in hair density and reduced shedding compared to the placebo group. But sunflower seeds do more than just improve circulation. They're also a good source of selenium, which supports thyroid function. Your thyroid controls your metabolism, your energy levels, and yes, your hair growth cycle. When your thyroid is sluggish, which is extremely common in women over 50, your hair growth cycle slows down too. Follicles stay in the resting phase longer, which means more shedding and less regrowth. The catch with sunflower seeds is that most commercial versions are heavily salted and roasted in toxic, inflammatory oils. High sodium intake from low-quality salts causes water retention and affects blood pressure, and that impacts nutrient delivery to your scalp. So stick with unsalted, raw, or dry roasted sunflower seeds. About 2 tablespoons a few times a week is plenty. And that brings us to number 1, sesame seeds. Sesame seeds are deeply nourishing to the bone and connective tissue systems, which is where hair strength and density are actually determined. Sesame seeds are rich in calcium, magnesium, iron, and B vitamins, all minerals that are essential for building strong hair shafts and preventing breakage. They're also incredibly lubricating, which makes them particularly helpful if you're dealing with dry, brittle hair that snaps easily. But here's the key. Sesame seeds are heavy and can be difficult to digest, especially if your digestive fire is weak. This is why preparation matters so much. When digestion is sluggish, sesame seeds can create congestion in the liver, which, as we learned earlier, worsens hormone imbalances and increases inflammation. Lightly toasting sesame seeds in a dry pan makes them easier to digest and enhances the availability of their nutrients. If your digestion is particularly sensitive, soaking the seeds overnight and using them without toasting can be an even gentler option. The ideal amount is about 1 to 2 tablespoons of toasted or soaked sesame seeds 3 to 4 times per week. You can sprinkle them on stir fries, add them to salads, or make a simple tahini paste by blending them with a bit of water and Celtic sea salt. Now, here's where things get interesting. These same seeds that can support hair regrowth can also cause hair loss when they're eaten incorrectly. And this is where most health conscious people trip up. They're eating the right foods, but in the wrong way. It's like knowing all the right dance moves, but doing them in the wrong order. And suddenly you're stepping on toes instead of gliding gracefully across the dance floor. Before we move on, drop a comment below telling me which of these seeds you eat most often. I'd love to know what's already part of your routine. All right, now let's talk about the 4 seed traps that can quietly sabotage your hair health, starting with risky seed trap number 4, chia seeds. Chia seeds have exploded in popularity over the last decade. They're marketed as a superfood, which they are, but when eaten incorrectly, chia seeds can actually worsen hair thinning. Here's the problem. Chia seeds absorb up to 12 times their weight in water. When you eat them dry, such as sprinkling them on a salad or mixing them into a smoothie without pre-soaking, they pull moisture from your digestive tract. This creates internal dryness, which Ayurveda calls excess vata. Now, excess vata shows up as dry skin, constipation, anxiety, and yes, dry, brittle hair that breaks and sheds more easily. One study found that women with chronic constipation had significantly higher rates of hair shedding compared to women with regular bowel movements. This really highlights the gut-hair connection. Another thing about chia seeds is that they're also high in phytic acid, which binds to minerals like zinc, iron, and calcium in your digestive system and prevents your body from absorbing them. So if you're eating chia seeds daily and also dealing with low mineral levels, you're essentially blocking your body from getting the very nutrients your hair needs to grow. Now, I'm not saying you should banish chia seeds from your life. Please don't. They're incredible. Just soak them for at least 20 minutes before you eat them. For maximum hydration and gentlest digestion, soak them overnight. The most delicious way to eat them is in chia seed pudding, and it's the easiest thing you'll ever make. I'll drop a recipe in the description, but limit yourself to 1 tablespoon a few times per week, not every day. Next up, risky seed trap number 3, too many flax seeds. Yes, flax seeds are in both categories, and here's why. In the right amount, they support hormone balance and gut health, but when you overdo it, all that fiber starts to interfere with nutrient absorption. Research shows that excessive soluble fiber intake, which is the type found in flax, can bind to minerals and fat-soluble vitamins in the gut. That means instead of you absorbing the nutrients, they bind to the flax and get eliminated when you go to the bathroom. Additionally, if you're already dealing with compromised digestion, eating large amounts of flax daily can create bloating, gas, and ironically, nutrient deficiencies that worsen hair loss. And here's a lesser-known issue. Flax seeds have a mild estrogenic effect, which is helpful for some women but problematic for others. If you're dealing with estrogen-dominant symptoms like heavy periods, breast tenderness, or mood swings, eating large amounts of flax daily might actually worsen hormone imbalances rather than improve them. The fix is simple. Stick to 1 tablespoon of ground flax and rotate it with other seeds rather than eating it every single day without a break. Now on to risky seed trap number 2, raw sesame seeds. Remember how I said sesame seeds are deeply nourishing? That's true when they're prepared correctly. But raw, unprepared sesame seeds can burden your liver and create internal heat, especially if you're already struggling with your digestion. In Ayurveda, the heating quality of sesame seeds is called increasing pitta. When pitta is out of balance, heat builds up in the liver and creates inflammation and hormonal congestion. This shows up as things like skin issues, irritability, hot flashes, heartburn, and increased hair shedding. A 2017 study from the National Institutes of Health found that women with elevated liver enzymes, a sign of liver stress, had higher rates of androgenic hair loss compared to women with healthy liver function. So if you're eating raw sesame seeds by the handful, tahini every single day, or sesame oil in every meal, you might be unknowingly creating inflammation that's worsening your hair loss. The real takeaway here is feedback. Sesame seeds can either be deeply supportive or quietly aggravating, depending on your body's response to them. So pay close attention to your body's signals. If you notice more irritation, skin breakouts, or increased shedding, that's your cue to pause, reduce, or rotate them out. And last but not least, we have risky seed trap number 1, seed mixes and seed crackers. This is the one that catches most people off guard because seed mixes and seed crackers are marketed as the ultimate gluten-free health food. You see them at Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and in every wellness influencer's pantry. They seem so harmless, just seeds, right? Wrong. Here's the issue. These products combine multiple types of seeds, chia, flax, sesame, sunflower, pumpkin, into one dense, dry, concentrated package. And people eat them mindlessly. A handful here, a few crackers there, and suddenly you've consumed 3 or 4 tablespoons of mixed seeds in one sitting. This is incredibly hard to digest, and it also creates excess vata, that's dryness, in the gut. Your body simply can't process so much all at once. What happens next is predictable: bloating, gas, constipation, and nutrient malabsorption. All the good things those seeds could have done for your hair get blocked because your digestive system is overwhelmed. A 2022 study from Harvard found that women who consumed multiple servings of high-fiber, nutrient-dense foods in concentrated forms, like seed crackers, protein bars, and smoothie bowls, had lower overall nutrient absorption compared to women who spread their intake throughout the day in smaller, more digestible portions. So if you're eating seed crackers or seed mixes daily, this might be the single biggest thing quietly sabotaging your hair health. Instead, treat seed mixes and seed crackers as an occasional snack, not a daily staple. And when you do eat them, keep portions small, 3 to 4 crackers max, or a small handful of seed mix. If you're finding value in this, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Also, please consider joining the channel. Your support helps me keep creating content that cuts through the noise and gives you real, practical solutions. Now I'd like to give you 4 key principles on how best to use seeds to support your hair without accidentally making things worse. First, rotate your seeds. Don't eat the same seed every single day. Your body responds better to variety, and rotation prevents overload. Second, prepare them properly. Grind flax, toast or soak sesame, soak chia, etc. This makes them easier to digest and increases nutrient availability. Also, make sure you chew them thoroughly. Whole seeds are often wasted. Third, match the quantity to your digestive capacity. If you have bloating, gas, constipation, or loose stools, you don't have strong digestion. Start with smaller amounts, 1 teaspoon instead of 1 tablespoon, and build up gradually as your digestion improves. And fourth, remember that hair responds to consistency, not intensity. You don't need to eat a ton of seeds every single day. You need to eat moderate amounts regularly over months. Hair grows slowly, and your body needs time to rebuild. There's no such thing as immediate hair growth, despite what those sketchy Instagram ads want you to believe. Traditional healing systems like Ayurveda emphasize timing and preparation for a reason. Our ancestors understood that how you eat something matters just as much as what you eat. Hair health after 50 isn't about restriction or deprivation. It's about alignment, aligning what you eat with what your body can actually process and use. Small corrections made consistently compound over months and years. If this video helped you see seeds, and maybe your entire approach to food, in a new way, please share it with a friend who's dealing with hair thinning. And if you'd like to dive even deeper into how to work with your body instead of against it, check out one of these videos right here. Remember, longevity isn't luck, it's a lifestyle. Until next time.